On September 28th, 2022, Hurricane Ian made landfall in Florida, causing more than $113 billion in damages. It was the worst storm seen in Florida since 1935. And our little beach house just happened to be directly in its path. Okay, we're packing up. I got all kinds of supplies. Getting the generator and some tools packed in there. I got the Yeti, a bunch of screws, all kinds of stuff. What's that? A couple harnicas. Getting things ready to go. Tomorrow morning, leaving for Fort Myers Beach. Here we go. All right, it's 4:30 in the morning. We are on our way, and we've got 2 degrees Celsius outside. Well, it's coming up to 4 now. That's cool. And we're on our way. Fort Myers Beach. Here we come. In the days following the storm, we were really desperate to find out any information. Scouring the internet, we found a few aerial shots that showed us the house was indeed still standing. We knew there was a roof and some walls, but really we didn't know much else. But from these photos, we could really see the extent of the destruction in the area, including what looked like an entire house that floated into our backyard. Fort Myers Beach had been completely closed for about a week, while search and rescue operations went into high gear. And then finally, we were on the road, a 2,000-kilometer journey from our home north of Toronto straight south to Fort Myers Beach. Just arrived in West Virginia. And we are cruising pretty good. We've been driving all day. Got my boy Brian at the wheel. And we got a number of hours left to go until we hit Florida, but we're making progress. It was great to have a buddy along for the trip. It truly made it more of an adventure. We had a lot of time to think about how it would be to see the house for the first time and to plan our attack. I decided early on to just look at this like a mission. Just concentrate on one small piece at a time and not the whole thing. 7:45 p.m. and we are just cruising along here in Virginia. Been a good long day, but been pretty good driving. So you know we're getting close to our destination. About 3 hours to go, I think. We're in Florida. We have fuel, and we're ready to rock. There's our trusty steed. Yo, Brian, anything to say?
Who's that? Hey!
Anything to say?
Ocala, here we are.
Yeah, Ocala, Florida. Almost there, another few hours.
Came, we saw, we're leaving.
As we drive into the Fort Myers area here, starting to see lots of vehicles like this with different washrooms and supplies and damage mitigation, electrical vehicles. There's an ambulance and a fire truck. I'm not sure what they're doing there, but lots of stuff heading into the zone. Welcome to Fort Myers. A little bit of a nasty arrival, but we made it. Day 1 of our recovery operation.
Day 1, we're prepared.
We got the triple stacker, and we're ready to go. The only problem is there is probably a couple of hours of this. We're not even near of the beach. We're 5 kilometers from the bridge, and it's just, we haven't moved for quite some time, and there's lots of people behind us. But you know what? We'll just sit here and have some muffins. Got some Florida water in the back if we need it, and we're ready to go do some work. Oh, we're moving. Pictures and video just don't do it justice. It's so surreal, it's hard to understand what you're looking at. Getting back onto the island was no easy task. Only about 12 kilometers from our Airbnb to the house, but the journey took 3 hours, and another 3 to get back. Just absolutely like a movie set out here. That's the only way you can really describe it. It just doesn't seem real. As we drove up to the house, I was really ready for an emotional experience. But in the end, it just wasn't. I think I'd already been through all that and was just glad to be there and ready to get to work. And that's what we did. One piece at a time, remove it from the house, get it to the curb, and repeat. So on day one, it pretty much rained the entire day. It was pretty sloppy, but actually it kept us cool on a hot day, which was just fine with us. We basically started with the garage doors and worked our way to the back. We used straps where we could, and even dragged some of the heavier items out with the truck. And one thing we quickly learned was just how heavy cement board with stucco really is. It's hard to imagine that there was actually 10 feet of water here. Just another couple of inches, and our house would likely have been washed away. We were definitely one of the lucky ones. Just digging through rubble, as yeah, that's what we're going to be doing for days. And in the sand, I found buried somebody's trail cam. So I'm very interested to see. Looks like it's got a little bit of water inside maybe, but I'm sure I'll be able to salvage the card and maybe we can find out whose camera this is. Ooh, looks pretty nasty. Just like in the winter, all the neighbors come out and do some shoveling.
Hey, neighbor.
It's a little wet and nasty, but you know.
You're saying I'm wet and nasty?
Look at that, there's a driveway, a concrete slab underneath there. Really hard to get anything out of here with wheels through this because it's so 3 inches of sand everywhere. I'm just gonna look over here for a second. You might notice that somebody's bathtub has found its way all the way into the back bedroom. I guess that just floated right in there through the back of the house. Pretty crazy.
Well, there's your problem right there.
Just ripping at her. Oh, shit. Look at that.
Yeah, get angry.
All right, that's probably done enough. This is the hardest job yet, right here. Cutting away this sheet so we can get this chair out. It just does not want to come out. Unbelievable. What's the thread count on that? I mean, seriously. Just go peeing out of the side of the fridge. Salt water from Mother Earth deposited in the fridge. Awesome. Well, we are getting...
Tiki table?
Yeah, we're getting to it now. That's good. We're gonna create our little... Got our tool kind of command center here with that in the truck. And now we're gonna have like, you know, little patio action so that we can start mixing, you know? Okay, back at it. So we are at the end of day 2 and it has been a hell of a day. Let me first bring you out here and show you the pile of debris, which is significantly grown. We have got a lot of stuff. It is just unbelievable. And then of course, that's pile number 2. This is pile number 1 over here. I gotta find some spray paint and make my sign. So then we go into the driveway. Still got a lot of sand, but we got a special treat coming tomorrow to deal with all that. Got a guy with a skid steer. We're gonna make short work of it. So we built a nice table. That's sort of the command center. We noticed that this post, that wall over there, came and took out this post. And so we removed all that wall and brought it out to the curb, and we kind of made a temporary support, jacked that up a little bit so it's nice and level, and we're good to go. And then into the right side here, what used to be the garage, pretty much cleaned up except for the back quarter. We did manage to salvage lots of chairs, which are in pretty decent shape, most of them, surprisingly. I mean, they are all rusted and stuff, so they'll get replaced, but... And yeah, so this was our storage area, and there was a wall here, and we took down that wall, gone, ripped that out, and then this was the bedroom, closet. It's like the mudroom now. It's all the mudroom. And we had another wall across here, at the door of the bedroom. And then we only have one more mattress to go, and that is really wedged in there. And then there's somebody else's mattress sort of over in there. So yeah, bed frame, the sink, and we'll start pitching stuff that way, I think. Get some of this cleared up tomorrow with Bobcat, and we should be good to go. My buddy Bry right here.
All right.
He's the
We
man.
did it.
He's the man right here.
We're doing it.
Couldn't have done it without him. As we entered day 3 of our recovery mission, I said goodbye to Brian, who was flying back to Toronto for a wedding. And I said hello to our new friend Chuck from Miami. And Chuck came with a Bobcat. It was such a relief to see how fast the Bobcat could get things cleaned up. Literally tons of sand and debris, and I wasn't even breaking a sweat. And after 2 long days of manual labor, this was just unbelievable. Okay, I got all the drywall and insulation taken down out of this wall here on the side of the garage. And this guy is just absolutely killing it. Got a driveway again. Pretty amazing. Next stop, this area. After 2 very long days of manual labor, this was just unbelievable. And to see a house emerge out of the rubble was such a great feeling. One of our main goals was to remove all of the wet debris before mold literally took over. There was soaking wet insulation, trapping moisture against the walls, bedding, mattresses, a fridge filled with salt water, all the things that would cause mold growth very quickly. So it was such a great feeling to see it get all cleaned up. Wow. Holy shit. Our Bobcat operator was a real surgeon with his machine. The clearance just to get in and out of the garage was incredibly tight, and he did it trip after trip without causing any further damage. Except, of course, for my GoPro, which I left right in his path. That's a lot of debris in our backyard. It's just goes on and on. There's our beloved tiki bar. See if I can salvage the sign out of there. Hopefully. And so by the end of day 3, we had the lower level completely cleaned out. All of the walls, ceilings, furniture, and appliances, along with other people's bathtubs and roofing, beds, and other stuff removed and piled up out at the curb. The state and FEMA had massive trucks picking up debris, but only from the roadside. After a day off to resupply, pick up my friend Tony from the airport and move into the house, we finally found our solution to the yard, and his name was Malachi. Malachi was in from Orlando and came with a talented, hard-working crew and a boatload of heavy equipment. We made a deal, and they got right to it. They worked long days and into the night, stopping by occasionally for burgers and beers and some great stories. And this guy was truly an artist on the excavator. Taking care around the pool and moving debris at breakneck speed, it was really impressive. He even removed our neighbor's massive propane tank from the pool, which had been leaking propane into the debris pile for more than a week now. He chewed away at the house that had floated into our property, and slowly the pool and what was left of our yard emerged from the rubble. And after another 3 days with Tony and I and Malachi's team, our yard was finally clear of debris. Well, that just about wraps up part one of our little adventure down here to Fort Myers Beach, Florida, and the work on our house. We've got a ton done with my buddy Brian and then Tony following up, and it's just been a roller coaster of emotions and really great to get a bunch of work done. Feel like we're ready to build now. We're ready to renovate. It's not as much of a disaster, although it still is. And you look in this place, the fan is still spinning around in their room, and there's still stuff there. But that house that's got to come down, and it's all going to look basically like this right now. So the pool is a mess, but that's going to get cleaned up. And yeah, I feel like we're in pretty good shape. Still some fireball left by the hot tub. And we've done just a ton of work. We got a couple of new windows in, which is amazing. Another new window up there. And all this is scrubbed out. It's just everywhere you look, we've been kicking some butt. The new Tiki Bar 2. And another giant pile of debris out by the street. This time it's from our neighbors. But, yeah, so that's it. We're gonna get on a flight home tomorrow and yeah, be home for a few weeks and then come back down and then get started with the build and with renovating and making it right.